Hi everybody. Do you remember movie stores? I think they were called video stores. They had VHSs and DVDs and such like that in them. And you would walk in and you'd walk through the aisles and you'd browse the case covers and you'd look at the back and see who was in the movie and you'd read the summaries and stuff. I sure remember that. I kind of miss that. I think there is something available these days that is the closest to that now that all of those are dead and gone, and that little thing is called Tubi. And the reason why I'm saying that about Tubi is because Tubi is free. It has commercials, right? But these days, all of the streaming services are infamously raising their prices to unreasonable levels. Whether it be Netflix or even Disney Plus, all of them are raising their prices and merging and doing this and doing that. But Tubi is still free. Now, there's a lot of Tubi imitators out there that are doing the same thing. But the Tubi catalog, it reminds me of the video store because, first of all, the categorization of everything is a mess. It's not as a mess as Amazon Prime, but it's pretty bad. But other than that, that's what's great about it. You get to browse, you get to look at all the categories and go through all the titles and see what they have. And they have good stuff. And they have a lot of stuff from like the 90s. They have a lot of lost stuff. I'm like often browsing and I'm just like, they have this, they have that. The commercials aren't that bad. I mean, there are commercials, but me personally, I'm kind of a little bit nostalgic for TV. I cord cutted over 10 years ago. Like I was from the first batch of people who were of cord cutters. I haven't had TV in a long time. So when I see commercials, I'm like, that's refreshing. Look at that commercials. Remember those? Although it gets a little bit tedious because they do show the same commercials over and over again. But all of that, in my opinion, is worth it because it's all free. So this is in the recommended section. Plays a little preview when you land on it. Like you guys probably know this. You know what Tubi is. They have Jason X now, which is like, they have Jason X. That's amazing. They have Tales from the Crib, American Nightmares. This is one of those titles that never seems to leave the platform. This is actually really good. It's from the makers of Tales from the Hood and Tales from the Hood 2 and Tales from the Hood 3. Around this, I think it was the same year they made Tales from the Hood. Rusty Cundiff, he did this movie, and this movie was kind of shelved and forgotten, and it's been on Tubi ever since. But it's actually worth seeing, in my opinion. Some of the tales in Tales from the Crib, American Nightmares, are actually stronger than Tales from the Hood 2. And Danny Trejo is your Crypt Keeper character, which is amazing. Unstoppable, the late great Tony Scott, his last film, and this movie is worth a watch. Quentin Tarantino is on the books for saying how much he loves not only Unstoppable and Tony Scott, but he calls Chris Pine his favorite modern American actor, which is pretty impressive, and I'm sure he was pleased to hear that. They have the Bourne films. They have the shitty Pumpkinhead sequels. They have classic 80s indie films like River's Edge, which is worth a watch. They have Mad Max. It's just to give you an idea. They got Free Jack, which is one of those love 'em to hate 'em movies with Emilio Estevez and Mick Jagger and Anthony Hopkins. It's just you should check that out if you haven't seen it. You've got Jodie Foster and her Death Wish movie, the Brave one. One of the first Russell Crowe movies, Romper Stomper. I'm not going to go through all of this, but look at this. This is just what's recommended to me, right? They just recently got all 3 Blade movies. They're getting new films every month. If you guys aren't aware of Tubi, and I would be surprised if you're not, you should definitely check out Tubi and actually consider just, if you're thinking about educating yourself and studying film and just watching a bunch of movies and you just feel like you're behind or you don't see as many movies as you like to have seen, you want to know more. I want more. I need more input, like Johnny Five. If you're like that, then check out Tubi because it's free and there's gotta be thousands of titles. Like I mean thousands. So it's worth a check. And put up with the commercials. They're not that bad. They're nowhere near as bad as that new Freevee, I think it's called, on Amazon Prime. Those commercials are irresponsibly long. But yeah, check out Tubi. This is a little introduction to Tubi and how great it is. Consider dumping those greedy bastards from the other platforms that you follow, especially if you follow Netflix. Netflix is mostly garbage. And go the free route, and not only Tubi, but get a bunch of the other imitators, because sometimes they'll have different titles among them. But if you're going to choose one, because I know you don't want to be browsing through every single app, get Tubi. Tubi's the granddaddy of them all. And enjoy yourself when you do it. Goodbye.